Hi everyone, thanks for tuning back to my book series where this week I'm pursuing the series of Harry Potter. And so far, I've done the first two books where we discussed in the first book the hero's journey, also known as monomyth, and how you can use that in your own writing. And in the second book, which came after that, we discussed how J.K. Rowling perfectly captures everything that happens in the book and kind of treats it like a mystery book where everything seems kind of suspicious and new and everything seems off. Now, in this next book, which is The Prisoner of Azkaban, as you can see, which is also the third book, we're going to be discussing something else. And in oh oops, and in this series, we're going to be focusing on how J.K. Rowling not only writes such good books and makes it look so detailed, but also how the things behind the scenes work, like how the entire story plots out perfectly, how she makes Harry seem like the perfect hero, how she makes this book look a little bit more mature and this book make it look like they're a little bit older. And I'm going to be doing a completely deep analysis so you get to think a little bit deeper, put a little bit more effort into thinking what went behind the book. So, book 3 is not really about Voldemort, but The Prisoner of Azkaban is about suspense, fear, and the hidden truth. Everyone thinks that Sirius Black is a dangerous villain coming after Harry, so the whole book feels tense from the start. This is kind of like the first one where it was kind of like a mystery book where he didn't know what was going on. Even before he went to Hogwarts, Dobby came to his house, and when Dobby came over, Harry got to know that he shouldn't go to Hogwarts, and he wasn't sure why. And he wasn't really sure what happened. And the same is happening in this book, where he gets to find out that there's some random prisoner that escaped and he's coming after Harry to murder him, which of course isn't what happens, but it makes the reader a little bit scared, and it's really an unknown truth that no one knows about. So the main idea is that this book uses suspense and hidden truth instead of the hero's journey, which is a little bit lighter and a little bit sweeter of a book, which is perfect because the first book was the beginning to a series, so it should feel like any normal fantasy book, but it should feel interesting because when Harry went to Hogwarts, there was still a lot more to do. He still had a few more years left in his training. The reader didn't know what the backstory behind Voldemort was and all that. So that's why it felt pretty light. But after the second book, the mystery really started, and this third book really continues that. So as I was saying, it uses the first two books to use Hero's Journey and the monomyth and the mystery structure, but this suspense comes from not knowing who to trust, what Sirius really wants, and why is everyone scared of him? Why is Sirius such a serious prisoner? That's iconic. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was the fear and suspense, because this is really the main idea of the whole book, and this is really why it's so intriguing. So Sirius Black escaping from Azkaban is the big fear hook. And this is basically the hook of the story where the reader gets to know someone new. And Harry's not just going back to school, but he's going back while everybody thinks that a murderer is hunting him down. So this creates a little bit of fear for the reader too, because they don't want their main character dying. So then they also find out that the Dementors are making the fear even worse, because it feels they force Harry to feel his worst memories, which just makes it feel like a horror book where all of the bad memories are coming back and it's all scary. And so this is why this book is a little bit more scarier and a little bit more intense and a little bit more mature. So as you can see, the series is getting a little bit more intense and mature as it goes on, where it was a little bit sweet in the beginning, as I said before, just bringing it back. Then there was a little bit of mysterious in the middle, and then now it's getting a little bit scary. So then the next one is that it makes the danger personal, because if Harry's fighting for his own life, he's not saving something else. He's not saving someone in the school. He's saving his own life because he knows that someone is out there coming for him. The next one is Lupin and facing the fear. So this is where Harry trains, and this is where he finds his mentor, And Professor Lupin is important because he teaches Harry how to fight back. He doesn't tell Harry, okay, you got this, just go out there and I know you'll do good. But he actually gives him the recipe and guides him on how to do it. And this is really what makes a difference. The Petronius charm is not just a spell because it shows Harry what to his face what scares him and what he has to fight back on. So he's prepared and he isn't fighting something he doesn't know about. Uh, the next thing is Sirius Black and the wrong story. Of course, up to this point, the reader thinks that Harry has to fight Sirius Black up to face, and once he defeats him, the danger's gone. But that's absolutely the wrong story. As I said, interesting books have to have something different. And J.K. Rowling usually uses plot twists or the wrong face or the wrong character. So, as I said, even the previous book, we didn't know Professor Quirrell was gonna be. I mean, in a previous book before, we didn't know Professor Quirrell was gonna be the culprit. We didn't know he was Voldemort because that entire time we thought it was Voldemort or someone in the school. We thought it might be Malfoy or even Professor Snape because he seems kind of suspicious, and Harry has like a rivalry with him. And in the second book, we saw the Chamber of Secrets, and we didn't know who was behind it. And so this makes the reader think that J.K. Rowling uses a lot of plot twists. So of course there's going to be another plot twist in this book, and the plot twist is that Sirius Black is not the villain. For most of the book, he's treated like the villain, and everybody says that he betrayed Harry's parents, so Harry hates him because he knows the full truth. He thinks before he knows the full truth. But this is what makes the story intriguing, and Harry is reacting to a story that might not even be true. So this not only changes Harry's perspective on the story, but this changes the reader's perspective, and this really shapes your mind. So as you go through the book, you build up all of these emotions and all of these moments, and all of a sudden, when it twists, they all completely go away and they change. So this is what makes it so surprising. So the twist is that Sirius is not the traitor, as I said before, and the real traitor is Peter Pettigrew, who has been hiding as Ron's rat, Scabbers, and the reveal changes everything we know so far in the whole book because the bad guy we've known so far is now innocent and harmless and wasn't actually dangerous. So, moving on, I wanted to bring up the next topic, which is time, truth, and the ending. So, the time turner is really interesting in this book, because Harry and Hermione get a second chance to see Buckby and Sirius. So that's pretty interesting, and I found it pretty interesting too in the world of magic. And we just saw the time turner, and the best part is that Harry realizes that he was the one who cast the Petronius earlier, and the moment shows that he already had the strength he was waiting for, and he didn't need anything else. He had it all in him. And so the book's main message is that the truth changes everything, and fear gets weaker when you learn how to actually face it. So this really shows the real value of truth and identity, and who you should believe and how you should react to it. So the Prisoner of Azkaban is not just another Hogwarts book. It's completely something new. Every book, J.K. Rowling puts something else into the book, which makes it seem more captivating. It's not the same old Harry fighting some demons or the three-headed dog. It's Harry learning how to conquer the truth, lies, spells, and maybe even a little bit of mystery mixed into the soup. So, if you write your own story, I would give you a recommendation that you mix a little bit of these elements too. Don't make your story the same old. The hero went off, saved the princess, came back, and got a bunch of golden coins. You can make it something interesting, like how J.K. Rowling did. Of course, it's not written down that it's a mystery book or that it's a book about truth and lies, but once you read the book and you understand it, the reader really appreciates how the author did that. So even I would recommend, when you write your stories or when you read books, look out for these things. There's many series like this which has this. Some of my personal favorite series like Percy Jackson and The Hunger Games also include this, and every series has something like this in it. So That's why twists are so powerful when they're done right, because it really shows the reader not only how good and interesting the book is, but also how they can use it in their own writing, and how the author can use it. And it really gives them the hook, and they get caught that they want to read more books. So that's all, guys. Thank you so much for watching my review. And if you guys want to put any of your own opinions or suggestions, you can, of course, say it down in the comments below. If you have any recommendations for my review for any other series, I would be more than happy to do so. Some of the series I might be reviewing later on might include Percy Jackson and Hunger Games. So if you're an enthusiast for any of them, please tune in. I'll be doing more books like those, even more. So please tune in, drop a like, maybe subscribe if you like my content, and thank you. Bye.